Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein and the Road to 100. Today we are in the Crown of Sand, and boy oh boy is this going to be different. So far,
Don't do anything you might regret.
we're going to regret this, don't you worry you. So what we're looking at here is with the AWKB today, we are going to see how this plays out, how this weapon plays out with just weapon skill active gifts instead of pairing it with any kind of hybrid dark or light gifting. So we're just going to be running some pretty basic setups here where we just kind of slam the enemy as hard as we can with all our weapon gifts. So what that means is that we absolutely do have to consider our windows and our openings when we actually have access to some kind of availability to hit an enemy. For example, this is not a great opening there, as you can see. Absolutely horrible timing, and that is why having some kind of ranged gift attack is a very wise choice. So whenever you get into the Crown of Sand, the best thing you can do is go for something with high damage, just base high raw damage, because the sand obviously is draining your ichor along the way. Whoops. And so having the ability to get around is going to be very important. And so if you can't actually run through each area, then it is going to be incredibly difficult. But since we can just absolutely destroy everything here, then we are able to kind of get wherever we need to, whenever we need to. And so since we have incredibly high just base raw damage, right now we are at 3180, and so we are able to just kind of get through these guys with no problem here. And who cares if we have ichor or not, we are going to absolutely slam. So it's really great and important to be able to match you know, what kind of damage you need to which enemy. Ooh. And the great thing is that we are absolutely going to be able to just kind of smash our way through here without any real trouble at all. So we did get hit there a couple times, so mission failed, obviously. But as we move along here, you'll notice that every enemy is kind of like a 1 or 2 hit kind of attack setup, and so it really doesn't matter what is going on, because we're going to be able to survive everything. Now you might be asking, why are we going with a crush veil when we are getting a lot of slash attacks? Well, the reason being is that for the Eva fight, we absolutely want to be having crush defense, because almost all of her personal attacks are crush, and so we want to be on the lookout for that. And so we want to make sure that we don't have any complications with her crush attacks. Now the slash attacks, obviously we're gonna have a little bit of difficulty running through, but that is okay. And so here's where you know, some of this kind of comes in handy, that we can run up here and go for some super strength here and kill these guys in like 1 hit. So that is really great. Okay. Now you can see that the weapon gifts are pretty strong just in and of themselves, but it is really helpful to have those gifts up and operational. However, as you can see, our ichor recovery is pretty suboptimal, and so we just kind of have to make sure we hit these guys with whatever we have. And as you can see, we're pretty much at 0 ichor, 0 stamina almost all the time running through the sand. So it's important to have something that just is very high damage output just as is, with no extra, you know, anything required or necessary in order to make it work. Oh. And you can see there, we can one-hit these guys, which is absolutely fantastic. And every time we get focused, we get the ability to recover all of our stamina, which is fantastic. And you can see that with a few well-timed dodges and such, we can absolutely take these guys out, no problem at all. And I completely messed up that dodge there and got hit by both of these guys. So you can see that even though we have a lot of access to a lot of high damage, we really don't need almost any of it, because we are pretty much at 0 ichor the entire area here, and so there's no real you know, benefit or trade-off to having high ichor while at the same time you're constantly out of ichor. So the sand, sliding around in the sand here, is not really a super great thing to be doing. However, because we can just zoom to the end here and get into the Eva fight, we will be able to take really good use of our active weapon gifts. So we'll go ahead and rest here, and then we'll head over. So let's go ahead and grab a pipe, and then grab lightning charge. Now, I've apparently most people are fairly new to the channel, which is kind of interesting. So it's like we've almost phase changed from audiences who were once upon a time along for the ride to the folks that are here now. And so the Road to 100 is my long form review of the game to show that the game has a lot more to offer than just being a Souls clone. And so just keep that in mind as we go through here. And also lightning charge. Folks have asked, how can I do such fast dashing with lightning charge? So since this new group has come along, they're apparently not familiar with this technique, and so you use the gift, and then right before the gift ends, you go into a block animation, and you move into a block phase. And there are two kinds of weapons. The reason I switched to this one-handed weapon is because when you use it with a non-slide weapon, you stop into a block animation, and so if you use it with a slide weapon, you continue moving into the distance. But if you need to stop quickly, you use a non-slide and you stop instantly. So depends on what kind of dashing you're going to be doing, determines which weapon you would choose. So keep that in mind. Okay, so as we get into the Eva fight here, things are pretty straightforward. Just go for a lot of damage and slap her around, and then you will be completely fine. So, and stay close. Stay as close to her as you possibly can, and watch out for the explosion attack. And then we will be completely fine. So always stay close when she does this. Now you see that we are out of stamina here, pretty much the whole time. Okay, now we are in transition, which is not really that great, but okay, we'll take it. Now she did not stagger, which is not great. Now we are in the cloud, so that is what you can see there, that we actually got to smack her around, and we got to get some stamina back. Oh, we gotta move close. Okay, yep, there's the explosion, and I did not dodge. Okay, well, we should actually quit and go back, but we could finish it here if we want to. Should we? I don't know. I guess we can. Never mind. I didn't dodge. So anyways, whoops, that was not actual intentional, but you know, things happen. Sometimes things happen. So the Eva fight, as you can see, we can absolutely zip through it, and the run back is not as bad as it used to once be. So my apologies here. Now the great thing is that you can see that when you have the amount of iCore that supports the weapon gifts, you can kind of spin between each one of these three weapon gifts, but because they do so much damage, the fight is almost over by the time you use all three of those weapon gifts. So it's very, very important to try and have enough iCore to actually use them. So if you are using like the heavy attack or something like that, then you can make sure that you try and keep your iCore topped up. But you have to be in a position where you can use them, because they all have some kind of movement to them, except for Steadfast Strike, where you stand there and you slap her pretty hard with a 5 times multiplier. So if you're using something like Flashing Fang or Tormenting Blast or something like that, you will be having to line yourself up to get an appropriate distance to hit her with all of the attacks, and line yourself up to a position where it makes sense, instead of trying to you know, just do everything right next to her. So that's usually pretty tough. So if we go for some extra iCore recovery and some more stamina, you'll notice here that that actually does make a difference at the beginning of the fight, not so much later on. And we'll go for some of these, and some of this, and some of this. Oh, we did not get the attack there. That's unfortunate. Okay, now let's not get hit by the storm this time. And there's the explosion. Oops, I'm too far away. Oh, we hit her anyways. Excellent. Okay. Now we do need some iCore here. And we need some stamina, so let's back up here. Let's go for ice. Because ice, oops, because ice is awesome. And that's the Eva fight. We did get hit, oopsie. But you can see that just having weapon gifts, the sword really doesn't need any help being any greater or better than what it already is, just base stock as its own weapon. So pretty incredible that the weapon can do that all in and of itself, without being paired with any kind of other gifts or anything. You can just run the sword straight as an arrow just for the sword itself, and you will be successful, period. I mean, it's that strong of a weapon. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this build, and it gave you something to think about. Absolutely have savvy evasion, so when you dodge 3 times, you get all of your stamina back, because as you saw, our stamina was our limiting factor. So keep that in mind as you move through the sand area. Stamina and iCore, pretty tough to come by on a sword only build like this. So if you're looking for a way to get through here and kind of slap pretty hard, the AWKB makes short work of Eva and every other enemy here in this area. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow in the Crypt Spire. Take care.